Hey guys, so today I am sharing with you my first installment of my Road to Retire in 2030. This is going to be my dividend income, my monthly dividend income report. I think it's going to be monthly. I thought about doing it twice a month because I do buys, deposits and buys at least twice a month in my Roths. But I don't know. You let me know after you've watched this and let me know whether you'd like to see a twice a month, bi-weekly update or just a monthly update will be fine. But this, I also want to preface this and say, do not do what I do. I am not a professional investor. I've only started investing in August of 2018. Made a lot of changes, made a lot of mistakes, lost some money, changed my strategies a lot, and I'm still evolving and changing my strategy. And I'll explain some of that here. So we'll just start off. January was a very busy month in the stock market for me because I made a ton of changes. I essentially got rid of an index fund that was in my Fidelity account, my wife's Fidelity account. As you know, I got rid of all ETFs in M1 and went into all individual stocks. And in my Chase, I added a ETF there. And just so you know, I broke this down into color coding as far as what account I'm talking with. M1 Finance is the navy blue with 6 holdings. Fidelity is the neon green with 6 holdings. And my Chase account is the royal blue with 7 holdings. So if you look, my M1 Finance is fairly new and it's the smallest part of my my portfolio. And I know I did that video where I said I might get rid of M1. I don't think I will. I think I'm going to keep this and average in all these positions, and I might add some positions too, because when we get down to the pie, you're going to see that I'm severely underweight in a few positions, and it's basically technology, industrials, and financials is where I'm severely underweight, and also utilities, and so I think that's where I'm going to start looking at M1 to kind of fill that void. So if we look at it here, my M1 Finance has Broadcom. I only have 1.2 shares, Exxon 5.2, Gilead Sciences 4.75, IBM 1.83, 3M 1.52, Unum Group 6.18, and I purchased all these in January. Going down to Fidelity, Fidelity had the most activity because I did get rid of the index fund, which was FNILX, and I replaced that with quite a few, or I added and replaced. Oh, I also got rid of Bristol Myers. I took profits out of Bristol Myers and I reinvested them into Pfizer. I picked up 25 shares of Pfizer. I sold that index fund and I picked up 45 shares of AT&T. And then the deposits that I made, I picked up I think it was 50 shares to get me up to an even 100 of BPR, Brookfield Property REIT. And I also picked up 5 additional shares of Ventas VTR. And to put my money where my mouth is, I actually put this in the wrong account. I should have, because if you guys know, my M1 Finance account is a DGI account, high quality companies, and it kind of goes the same way with my wife's Fidelity, and then my Chase Roth is more of a high yielding income portfolio, which is also a Roth. But if you remember my video a few videos back where I talked about some speculative plays or contrarian investments, and one of those was AMC Theaters, I started a extremely small position and I bought 30 shares of AMC Theaters, and you can see that's only 1% of my portfolio. I'd like to get that up to about 100. I don't know if it'll stay around or they could keep dropping, but you never know. So that's it. I added and I also got, I don't know if that was January. I got a dividend from Ventas, and it dripped in and got me almost half a share. And in my Chase account, any changes here? I think, I bought 35 shares of Tanger Factory Outlets, and I bought 100 shares. I had another video of high yielding stocks that I wanted to buy, and I reviewed 3 of them, and I ended up buying AMLP, which is a midstream limited partnership ETF. It has companies like Energy Transfer, Enterprise Product Partners, a number of other midstream energy plays. But that I did that 100 shares there, but it kind of overweighted me in energy now, because I have that's 4% in that. Then Vermilion Energy is almost 4%, so there's 8. And also I have Exxon, which is almost 2%, so almost 10% in energy. And that's, before I made this spreadsheet, I really didn't pay too much attention to it. And then I made this chart down here, and I'm like, oh, okay, let me do a little different. Also, I sold off. I used to have 152 shares of Nokia. I went ahead and trimmed that and took some loss on that, and just left that couple $100 in cash so that I can possibly take advantage of some other opportunities. So that's it for the additions and changes for January. I have a very simple spreadsheet. I have current share price, 52-week low here, and the 52-week high, so that I know where the current share price is in between. And what else do I got? The market value of all the shares that I own, what they pay in annual dividends. Then I have current dividend yield, which is 6.73% across the portfolio. My yield on cost is 6.7%. So that means is that I'm basically down on the entire portfolio. But that's fine with me, because that just presents some opportunities. And I put current dividend yield here and yield on cost here, so I can visually look and see if the current dividend yield is higher than my yield on cost. And if it is, that can present a buying opportunity, possibly to increase my yield on cost. Like, what's a good for instance here? Geo Group is currently yielding 12%, 12.15, and my yield on cost on that is 10.78. I am holding off on investing into Geo Group. I got a pretty full position as far as I'm concerned, and I really don't want to, even though I added to BPR and Ventas, I don't want to add too much more into real estate. I actually want to get rid of this one right here, which is SRET. But I got an 8% yield on cost. Where I'm going to put that money and still get decent yield is up in the air. But I'm actually having trouble selling it. It wouldn't execute on Friday. I think the whole 100 shares. It just wouldn't execute on Friday for me. That being said, this is the annual income of all the whole portfolio, which is $1,444.30. And if you look, I had annual income ended 2019 of $1,079.14. So just in the month of January, this is an anomaly month. It's not going to be like this all the time. So I added, what is that, $375 a year in dividend income. I ended 2019 with about $90 a month average just off of stocks, and my current monthly average is $120.36. And I'm 60% towards my goal, because my monthly 2020 goal is to have a $200 a month average. I don't care when they pay out. I don't care if it's, what quarter it pays out. I just want an average of 200. Now, another thing I've done is I started selling covered calls. Now, covered calls are pretty interesting, and they can, just in the month of January, I made $48.20, and that was just off of selling calls on Geo, Tanger Factory Outlets, and Nokia. And this right here, Geo call 2930, this could be, if I can sell a call, a $29.30 call every month of the year at $29.30 times 12, that's probably unlikely, but I can get $351.60 in income on top of the $223.69 it pays out in dividends. So I can make more on covered calls than I can with the income it provides. So I thought that was pretty cool. I don't, what I just said right there probably will not happen, but I am going to utilize this to increase my yield on my portfolio. Even though my yield right now is 6.7%, I still, $48.20 in the month of January. Most of that went into buying the 100 shares of AMLP. So 8 times 5, it bought me like 6 shares of AMLP, and with no risk. So I think that's pretty awesome. And I know I need to clean this up a little bit. This looks kind of messy. Otherwise, I'm going to have to explain it every single time. Also, I put in, I don't know why that came down here. What happened here? But anyway, I put my Wealthfront interest earned in January. I earned $13.57. I'm not going to add that to the monthly average, nor is the covered call income added to the monthly average. This is just kind of bonus money for me. And the covered call money will be reinvested into other stocks. The Wealthfront interest earned is going to be just reinvested into itself, because this is basically my emergency fund. So in Wealthfront, this number should go up this year, but last year I earned $92.29 in interest off the Wealthfront high yield savings. So that's it. Like I said, this was I ended the year of 2019 with $1,079.14 in annual income, and I am now at $1,444.30. That is an anomaly month. It's going to slow down and not be such a big change in February. There's a lot going on. I need tires on my car. I need an oil change. Car insurance bill is coming up. And also taxes. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to put the entire deposit, my monthly deposit, into both of my Roths or not. We'll have to just kind of play that by ear and let them. It's a big dividend month, I believe, so we'll get some reinvested dividends. So what do I look like as far as portfolio allocation? This is what I'm working on fixing because it is pretty out of whack. And if you look at it here, the big standout is 48% in real estate. That's kind of why I want to get rid of that one ETF, SRET, and put it into some other stocks that's hopefully not in real estate. But you can see I'm very short financials, very short industrials. I want to build that up. As I build that up, this will shrink as well. Entertainment, I put that under AMC for the AMC stock. And technology, I have IBM and Avgo. I'd like to get that a little bit bigger. So if I get that a little bit bigger, these two a little bit bigger, and it'll start encroaching in on the overweight of the real estate, I think that'll be fine. Also, I don't have materials. I don't have utilities. So this is a work in progress for sure. Yeah, I mean, I've only been doing this since August of 2018, and I just, barely opened my wife's Fidelity Roth middle of 2019. So building a portfolio is fun. It's fun, but it is kind of hard, especially if you don't want to be overweight, like 48% in real estate. But that gives me some really big dividends for sure. But another thing that I have noticed is high yield. You do not go after high yield if you're scared of volatility, because the Chase account with these holdings is extremely more volatile than my wife's Fidelity account with these holdings. You'll notice, well, besides the AMC should have went in here, but British Tobacco, Pfizer, AT&T, Brookfield Property, and Ventas, these are pretty large cap quality companies. And for instance, this past Friday when we had about that 2% dip, the Chase high yield was definitely down 2%. And the Fidelity account was barely budged. I think it was down 0.5, something like that. So it's a lot more easier to look at Fidelity than it is to look at Chase. But when Chase goes, it goes. There's some days where it kind of takes off and goes for it. And M1 is fairly volatile too because of the tech sector got kind of hit. And the energy sector got really hit. So, 3M, no, it was IBM that popped. That did pretty good, but the energy sector really got weighed down. But that's it, guys. The Road to Retire in 2030 dividend income report. I'm at an average of $120.36 a month. And you add that to the covered call income and the Wealthfront interest income. If you do that, I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased. So if you have any suggestions on how I can clean this up, any of you guys that use Google Sheets, or if you want to add anything to this, like I want to add, for instance, dividends received column, I will probably do that. That would probably be just a manual thing that I'll have to go in and run. Like this is manual too. So anyway, any questions, comments, leave them down below. I'd appreciate it. Thank you guys. And we'll see you maybe in 2 weeks, maybe in a month. You guys let me know. Well, all right. We'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye-bye.